Neo Geo is such a cool device to own in a collection. However, for collecting game it's going to be quite challenging. But Darksoft, the arcade resurrection. And it's absolutely true, because this is maybe the ultimate solution for playing all of your games on your Neo Geo. I am absolutely blessed to own a couple of Neo Geo games. If they are going to be becoming more expensive in the future, that is something we shall see then. However, there are still a lot of them out there that are like under $100 price range. But of course the most fun ones, think about them, breakers, metal slugs on the AES system, are super expensive. And that makes collecting for the Neo Geo not a lot of fun sometimes. However, Darksoft does have the ultimate solution, and that is what we're going to be talking about today. This is more of an EverDrive or a flash card that you can buy and have the option to flash all of your Neo Geo games. I've bought it secondhand in pristine condition. I was just looking on the secondhand marketplace, noticing somebody was selling his AES multi-card. It's kind of confusing that it's saying it's a multi-card, because this is more of a flash card. But in here we do have a quick overview of all kinds of features that this thing can able do with the Neo Geo AES. This actually multi-game flash card has the option and more enough space to actually store every single game of the Neo Geo library, so don't have any limitations there. Cartridge wise, this looks absolutely nice, and it just looks like an original card, and they even include the SNK made in Japan. So what you're getting is just a flash card that is absolutely massive. At the side in here, it's kind of cool that they put a sticker, and here we can implement the SD card. Or at least, if you're going to be fictional. Where's the SD card? Oh, there it is. So the SD card can be inserted in here and clicked in. The downside is you cannot put it back in the box with SD card, so we always need to remove it. However, you can just plug it in, and we're going to be playing every single game that you can add through an SD card. The quality of the box, I must say that I'm not a big fan of them. Like the plastic quality, it's not that great. I'm giving you a quick comparison with another game. So let's complain a little bit about the box. Simply because when you're looking at the quality of the Xenocrisis, this is such a better overall quality when it comes to the plastic itself. And that is, it's cool that it is in here, but you know, the overall quality, it's yeah. And also it's very glossy. Oh man. And another question is, if you're going to be doing a side-by-side comparison with a real multi-game card from China, so which one is maybe the best choice? So what you do need to take consideration when looking at these older game cards, particularly the multi-cards, they are not the best out there. They had some problems, some games are glitching and all kinds of, let's say, issues. However, when you're looking at the newer models, this is another old model. If you're going to be picking up the really old model, this is going to be either, I think it's like under $100 sometimes. So far I know when it comes to the overall stock. The newer cartridge is going to be more expensive, and that is absolutely a fact. However, if you're going to be looking into this and if you're looking at the price point compared with an AES multi-game card, yeah, then it's more the question, do you just getting this multi-game card and just take it as it is with, like, say, the minor mistakes and problems? Or are you spending a lot of money and actually getting this flash card? Because from the money you're spending on this, you can actually buy 3 multi-game cards, to give you an example of the price. However, let's plug this thing in and let's see what we can actually do with it. So part of the video I'm going to be recording it from an LCD, and I'm going to be combining this with the retro scaler RGBS upscaler, and it's just an easy plug and play solution for Neo Geo. But let's take a close look at the options over here. We're finding the game list. So with the game list, all the stuff that we added to the SD card will be shown here. We have different kind of, let's say, options. You just have a list, but I have chosen for the thumbnails. This just looks absolutely amazing. So what you can just do is pressing A, and here you can just see that I can assign it. And this is the biggest difference when it comes to, let's say, this multi-game card. Normally we're choosing one particular game, flash it and play. Now we have 3 slots where we can actually, 3 different slots where we can put the game in and just remove, assign, and we can just exit over here. So when it comes to the games, I do love it when we have this very cool thumbnail. But let's go back to the menu, because there is so much more that we can actually do with this. We have over here the game configuration. And in the game configuration here you can see the 3 slots and the 3 games that we have set to. Over here, Metal Slug 5, Earth Fighting 3 and Breakers. So pressing B, you're going to have return. System configuration, and here we even have the option for changing out the mode and the region. So it's kind of interesting because normally I think you can only do this when you're having a Unibio. Next up, let's see, we're having over here the menu configuration, we're having boot mode. And here you can choose the menu, the games list, we can choose all kinds of things over here. Boot timer is none, but we can set it to 5. So it takes a little bit longer before it's going to automatically boot up. Here we have like the thumbnails that I've shown you, but you can just put it in a list. I did personally experience that it has some weird thing going on with the thumbnails, that it just froze out of nothing, but that can maybe be a problem with something else. We can change out the music of the menu game itself, the menu itself. It's actually like a kind of cool soundtrack, all kinds of versions over here. Just going to be leaving it on off. Over here, in-game hotkeys are enabled, and we have to do all kinds of cool things that we can even set up into the multi-card/flashcard diagnostic can you do about help and exit and program games. So when we have done this, we're going to be actually getting into a game, and I just want to give you a quick preview of the loading of the DDR, and it will take a little bit longer than, let's say, a super fast flash card, but this is simply to do when it comes to the size of the games. Let's get into some gameplay, and when the games are booted up, it just will play like a normal game without any problem whatsoever. And I'm just playing this now on an original AES, not a modified. Yeah, okay. I already was stabbed by the guy. However, I love these games, man. They are so much fun. But for fun, let's program one into the machine itself, or the flash card. So let's choose a game. Let's go for 3-bound count. So selecting the game, we're going to be assigning it to slot number, let's see, number 1. Assigned it. It's assigned. We can exit, or we can just remove it if you want to. But let's remove it. Let's assign, exit, and go. So next up, we need to be saving, exit, and for the program games, and then they're going to be starting programming it. So this is actually the long thing that happens, and also depending on what kind of size, if it's like smaller games, the loading will be so much faster. And you can just actually see that it's writing and loading the DDR, and it takes up sometimes a couple of minutes, depending on what kind of game size you're using. And there we go, ready. And you can see that it works quite fast. No problem whatsoever there. But let's say I want to start off some Art of Fighting. So what we're going to be doing is pressing B, and that's it. It will automatically start the game. So that's quite of an, let's say, a big difference compared with, say, some general, let's say, flashcards I've reviewed here on the channel, where a lot of them like instant load, only 1 slot, and here we can just save 3 of them. And let's say your 3 favorite games, and from that point on we can actually play them, and they work like a charm. But the loading times in general of all of the games is quite fast, and I must say that I don't find it really annoying that we do need to wait a little bit longer sometimes. Another question I had is like, will this work on my Unibio's modified AES? And the answer seems to be yes. So one thing I needed to check out, of course, is can we use the cheat database, because it will load up the game as it is originally and should not be any problem whatsoever. But so far, no problem. Everything seems to be working great. And I can try a couple of more games to see if this will have a problem. But so far, so good. But yeah, it's absolutely amazing when it comes to the Unibios. Unlock bosses for AES only. Oh yeah, infinite timer, infinite energy. Let's go cheating, boy. Let's be naughty. Oh yeah. Still, Art of Fighting 3. I do wonder what other people think of it, because this is actually one of my favorite. Number 1 and number 3. I always play them. It's so much fun. The question really remains, was it worth the money? I'm just going to be honest with you, is that I don't know for sure. With the simple reason because this is just so cool to actually have the option to play all of your games super easy through a flash card. But the way how it works is kind of interesting that we need to have like filling the slots and just adding your game through there. However, it's quite fast to actually play these games. But is it superior to the multi-game card, the real multi-game card from China? Yes, it is in many ways, because you can actually play everything on here without no problems what I've seen. Where the multi-card still has a lot of issues, problems and glitches. So both will have the positive and the negatives. So thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, and it would be great to see you in the next video.